Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Dear Estimate Associate Professor Dr. Haji A.M. Hafid Masum MAG as Dean of the Faculty of Islamic Economic and Business and the entire faculty, Honorable Dr. Bandit Aroman from Riki University, Thailand, as the speaker in this agenda, international guest lecture. Distinguished guests, respected lecturers, dear students, and honored participants from cross region and institution, a very good morning to you all. It's both privilege and pleasure to welcome you this international guest lecture organized by the Faculty of Islamic Economic and Business Universitas Islam Negeri Kiai Haji Abdurrahman Wahid Pekalongan. Today, we gather not merely as attendants of an academic event, but as a member of global intellectual community committed to expanding knowledge, fostering dialogue, and addressing contemporary challenges and transcend borders. Before we begin, we invite Associate Professor Dr. Haji A.M. Hafid Masum MAG as Dean of the Faculty of Islamic Economic and Business to deliver the opening remarks and officially open the event. We extend our gratitude to him for his time and presence. Please welcome Mr. Dr. Hafid Masum.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa mawalah. Amma ba'dah. Rabbi syrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Distinguished guest speaker, Dr. Pandit Aroman from Brick University. How are you today, sir?
Alhamdulillah, thank you, Dean.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for inviting me. Yes.
Respected colleges, honorable lecturer, dear students, and all participants, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to today's guest lecture. We are truly honored to host such an esteemed scholar whose expertise enriches our academic environment. Surely, this forum reflects our commitment to fostering intellectual exchange and global academic collaboration. And I believe that your presence in this good opportunity shows a shared commitment to advancing knowledge in the field of Islamic economy, especially in halal industry studies. I hope this session will provide more valuable insight for all of us. And on behalf of the faculty, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to Dr. Pandit Aroman for your willingness to share your knowledge and research with us today. We highly appreciate the time, the effort, and your expertise you contributed to this academic forum. And for Mr. Pandit, maybe this is the second time we meet. Also in this opportunity, we meet also via online Zoom meeting. 2 years ago, 2 years ago, I went to Kirk University presenting my paper in international conference, and we were putting in the most popular river in Thailand. What's the name of the river?
That is Chao Phraya River.
Oh,
Yeah,
Chao
we
Phraya.
were together.
Yes.
Yes, we were
Chao
together.
Phraya River. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for accompanying me at that time. I would also like extend my thanks to all participants who have taken part in this guest lecture with great enthusiasm. Furthermore, I would like to acknowledge and appreciate to the organizing committee for their dedication and hard work in preparing this event. Honorable Mr. Pandit Aroman, for our faculty, moreover for me, your paper is very interesting and very attractive. What you wrote in the paper seems has relationship with my paper. As the result of my research deal with this them with halal product in Hong Kong last year. Yeah. Your rhythm of the on your paper presented today provides a profound analysis of the challenges of implementing halal standards in non-Muslim majority countries within ASEAN. Of course, it highlights that halal is no longer merely a religious matter or merely an obligation for Muslim, but has evolved into a significant driver of global economic growth. The identification of key issues such as the lack of standard harmonization, institutional limitation, and also supply chain integrity challenges, yeah, is particularly relevant for policymakers and academics alike. So, of course, this study also emphasized the importance of consumer trust, especially in minority Muslim contexts. Okay. So it will be interesting and attractive them I think. Okay. We also hope that this guest lecture will not only serve an academic discussion but also a foundation for the future collaboration between our institution, Islamic Faculty of FEBI of UIN Gusdur and also Creek University. And I hope I have a chance to visit Creek University for for the second time. And also I hope that this activity also strengthen our partnership through academic exchange, joint research maybe, and also knowledge sharing to address global challenge, particularly in halal economy. We believe that collaboration between our universities play a strategic role in producing impactful research and practical solution. Finally, I would like to wish all participants a fruitful and engaging session. May this case lecture inspire new ideas, our critical thinking, and also meaningful discussion. And if there are any
Hadir, hadir.
and our arrangement or remarks, we sincerely apologize. We remain committed to continuously improving the quality of our academic activities. Thank you for your attention and your participation. Akhirul kalam. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for our Dean, Associate Professor Dr. Haji A.M. Hafid Masum MAG for his opening. And the next agenda, we will call our guest lecturer, international guest lecturer, Dr. Bandit Aroman from Creek University, Thailand. We are especially honored to host a distinguished guest speaker who brings valuable expertise and international experience to this discussion. Mr. Dr. Bandit Aroman has devoted significant scholarly attention to halal governance, international business, and regional cooperation. His presence today not only enriched our academic environment, but also strengthen the knowledge bridge between ASEAN institutions and nations. Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin this session, I warmly welcome you to this international guest lecture. May today's session be insightful and impactful for everyone involved. Thank you, and let's begin this session. So, we extend our gratitude to him for his time and presence. Dr. Bandit Aroman from Creek University, Thailand.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Moderator, Mr. Henry, right? So,
Right.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Honorable Dean of the Faculties of Economic and Business, Dr. M. Haji Hafiz Moshkim, respected Vice Dean for the Academic Affairs, Dr. Tuat Ismanto, our distinguished lecturers, scholars, and students from the Faculty of Economic and Business. I think it's give me a lot of gratitude. That would be another part of UIN Pegalongan once again, as our dean already mentioned that we have long partnership, not just only for the academic partnership, but we look like that Gurkh University and UIN Pegalongan is truly partnership. This is building not just only the academic trust, but we are becoming like a voice of Muslim in ASEAN. Of course, as today that I'm going to present on the challenges of halal standard in non-Muslim state among ASEAN nations. May I a little bit introduce myself? My name is Dr. Bandit Aroman. Currently, I'm from the Faculty of Liberal Arts, Gurkh University. So let me begin with sharing some of my slide on the of my study here. I think that you can see right from the slide. Okay, is this moving?
Yes, moving. So,
Okay, like this, right? So I'm going to present our expert. Actually, everyone are economic expert and also halal expert, religious expert. But I'm not truly and frankly to say that I'm not from the religious expert. I'm from so-called that very secular expert. Of course, we have a fundamental of Islam study in the in background, but of course, living in the country like Thailand, we considered as the Muslim minority. So when I have a chance to visit Indonesia, I feel so happy. You know why? One thing is that we can eat anything wherever it is available in the market, even in the mixed market. But when you come to Thailand, as our dean mentioned, that maybe you have to be selected some of the item, some of food stuff, and some of the way of life here is a little bit different context. So halal may appear to be simply a religious concept associated with food. But however, if we examine it more deeply, halal has evolved in, into something much bigger. Today, halal represents not just only religious compliance, but also ethnical production, customer trust, product safety, quality assurance, international trade, and even geopolitical influence. So that's why halal is not just only for religious purpose. Halal is become the lifestyle of a human who believe in Islam. And this is the voice of the powerful among the Muslim who living in even in non-Muslim state, that to find the way to bring the significant point to assimilate to the multicultural society like Thailand. As you know, when you come, there is the Buddhist society. Second one, when we look to the global, the regional pictures of ASEAN, right? We have to understand ASEAN is just not talking about the landscape. It's not just talking about 10 or 11 countries that are the member of ASEAN. But if we look carefully to the focal point of Halal standard. We have to understand that ASEAN is one of the most dynamic and diverse region in the world. It consists of countries with different history, religions, political system, economic capacity, and social structure. It's so diverse. We have Muslim majority countries like, of course, Indonesia, Malaysia, and even Brunei. At the same time, we have Muslim minority country that we should not forget as the Muslim Ummah, such as Thailand, Singapore, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, and the Philippines. Just only this point, my dear student, thinking about the number of Muslim population in the non-Muslim state, it is roughly nearly to the 100 million Muslim population living in non-Muslim state among ASEAN nations. So 100 of million population is a huge consumer of halal product. Am I right? That's why we should not forget. And also, if we look to the halal certification, there are a lot of halal certification. Of course, we have Indonesia halal certification, Singapore, Malaysia, Brunei, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, Cambodia, even Myanmar. So we immediate notice something very interesting, right? Every country has its own halal certification logos. At first, this may not seem problematic because they are based on their religious context. But if we think like a producer, exporter, policy maker, this diversity creates serious challenges. Now I'm talking about the point that I'm concerned with. Imagine, student, that if you are the food producer in Thailand, right, you want to export to the other ASEAN country. Suddenly, your certification with already approved from your institution may not be automatically recognized by other countries. You may need additional audit, additional inspection, additional paperwork, and additional cost. So the issue here is not whether the product is halal or not. The issue is whether institutions trust each other. So it means that you have different of halal logo, different standard, different institution. How we can emerge or trust by each institution to the other. This is the point. These transformations of halal, that is so-called transform halal from the religious issue to the political economy issues. And that is exactly why halal governance divert serious academic attention, right? In this strategic context, right, the study began with one central observations. ASEAN has made tremendous progress in economic integrations through trade agreement, investment partnership, and supply chain connectivity. There is a study that within 2030, the value of halal trading will be reached to about 10 trillion economy. And the case of the regional harmonization should be adopted. So I began asking several important questions that why Do non-Muslim countries develop halal system differently? What institutional challenges do they face? Why do some countries successfully export halal products globally, while others struggle to build domestic capabilities? And perhaps most importantly, how can ASEAN create a more harmonized halal ecosystem in the future? So to answer this question, I conducted comparative in institutionalized analysis of for across of the 7 ASEAN market. The goal was not just only identify the problem, but also to propose strategic policy solution. Look at the executive summary here after I conducting comparative analysis. At least we found 4 pillars. First, the halal economy represents a massive global opportunity. Is going, fast in order to concern about the halal industry. Second, ASEAN possesses extraordinary demographic and geographic advantage. Third, there are significant differences in internationalized maturity across countries. And fourth, fragmented governance create economic insufficiency. In simple terms, the opportunity is enormous. The market demand is already there. The production capacity exists, but the governance structure are not yet fully aligned. This is a big issue that I'm focusing on this challenge. And this governance gap is the main challenge facing non-Muslim ASEAN country today. In the global arena, we look to the global halal economy. Now, the halal economy is projected to approach, as I mentioned, 10 trillion US dollar by the year of 2030. This is not a small niche market anymore. This is one of the fastest growing economic sector in the world. Traditionally, halal was associated mainly with food. Everyone suppose living in my country, people understand halal is just concerned about food. But now we try to transform or input the knowledge that halal is not associated with food, but halal is expanded into pharmaceutical, cosmetic, tourism, logistics, fashion, healthcare, and Islamic finance. So these are the 4 criteria is showing in my slide that I think students should be concerned for the future sector, Islamic finance and logistics, Muslim-friendly tourism, pharmaceutical and cosmetic, and even fashion, plus food and agriculture. This means that halal is no longer just religious requirement. It has become global quality assurance system. It has become global quality assurance system, as I mentioned. Therefore, countries that understand this transformation will gain enormous competitive advantage, where the other country that ignore it may lose their strategic opportunity. That's why when we look to the demographic here, as I mentioned, I'm focusing on the non-Muslim state, not the Muslim majority state. If we look to the demographic, we can combine all together like roughly 700 million population. This creates one of the most attractive customer market in the world. Every superpower is attraction to our region, focusing on our region as well. But when we make ASEAN truly special in its demographic dualities, on one side we have large Muslim consumer populations. On the other side, we have strong agricultural products, advanced manufacturing system, and global export network. These combinations create unique economic synergy. Non-Muslim countries do not necessarily need large Muslim population to succeed in halal industry. Like Thailand, we just have only nearly 7% of the total population, or maybe less than that. What they need is institutional trust, scientific standard, and market credibility. And this is exactly what we observe in countries like Thailand and even Singapore. Mapping of these 7 markets, which is quite important to understand that Thailand is the scientific exporters, Singapore is structural hub, the Philippines is the agricultural driver, Vietnam is the secular exporter, and Cambodia is the emerging processor. Myanmar is the decentralized market, and Laos is nascent frontier because it is the less number of the Muslim population over there. Country by country, I want to start with Thailand. That in order to understand the challenges, we have to understand what are the mechanisms and what are the focus of halal industry in Thailand, and what are the systems that they are certifying. That Thailand, as I mentioned, that the scientific exporter integrated strict religious oversight with world-class laboratory testing, establishing deep international credibility. We have roughly 5 to 6 million Muslim populations. And regulatory, we have the SICOT, which is represent Central Islamic Council of Thailand. And the turning point of halal standard in Thailand under the foundation of Professor Dr. Vinay Dahlan. I think everyone almost known because you are aware of the halal. That he establishes the Halal Science Center at Chulalongkorn University. If you come to Thailand, you should also visit the Halal Science Center. So whole the nations is focusing on the halal industry on processed food, poultry, seafood, and Muslim-friendly tourism. Of course, Thailand is the tourist destination. You know that the income currently of the national income of just only the halal products is reached up to 8 billion US dollars. However, when we look to the primary of the bottom next, that the SME awareness gap and highly complex supply chain coordinated across the large-scale food product system. Then we move to Singapore. I think this is one of the standards that we look after. Singapore is like a structural hub that compensate for a lack of domestic agriculture with an ultra-strict global recognition regulatory framework. I think everyone all know about MUIS, that is international institutional standard that associated with the National Food Safety Standard Integration and also national food safety standard of the universal. They are focusing on the industrial focus on food, service, logistic hub, pharmaceutical. This gain a lot of national income as well. However, if we look to the bottleneck, we see that the high financial compliance costs and server urban space limitation for maintaining separated product line. The Philippines, that they are very rich in cultural resources, shown by overlapping unharmonized certified body. So even, the Muslim in Philippines, they have roughly 10 million of Muslim population. But under the international standard for issuing the halal system, they are still, overlapping from one institution to the other institution. So they are not like central who can issue the certification. They have under the Act of RA number 10817 promotion board, under the promotion board. So the industrial focus, they focus on meat, seafood, and even coconut export. Therefore, if we analyze the bottleneck of Philippines, we have seen lack of unified singular certification system cause domestic producer confusions and stone growing in non-Muslim state. Cambodia is one of the emerging processor leveraging in the indigenous Cham community to build early stage institution structure for export. Of course, if you look to the demography, they just have only roughly 2 or 3% of the Muslim population. However, we can see the regular engine of Cambodia, that they have Islamic Development Foundation under the title of CIDF, that developing early stage national guideline. On the other side, the pottery, seafood, and hospitality, and even tourism, they are the main product. So see that halal is not just only focused on food. They also focus on hospitality and even tourism. However, the bottleneck of Cambodia is also is reflecting of the nascent institutional capacity, fertile supply chain tracking, and extremely low SME awareness. So it means that it should be promotions of understanding of the advantage of halal. Vietnam, I think this is quite interesting. Vietnam is going to be ASEAN leading in terms of the GDP. But if we look to the halal industry in Vietnam, it's still under, I think, that pure reliance on the foreign company, or let's say that zero centralized nation framework. So it means that it's still not much focus on the halal standard. Even then, the industry that they are focused is like, massive seafood export, coffee, agricultural commodities. The bottleneck of the Vietnam is reflect of the completely absent of the state level halal coordination, limit holistic ecosystem growth. So if you want to go Vietnam, I think double that you have to be a little bit careful about how to find a halal restaurant, and you have to identify yourself. And now Myanmar, it is called so-called the decentralized market. Domestic consumption is sustained by historic network, but export are locked behind the system barrier. Even then, the Myanmar Muslim population is still a very high number as well, similar to Thailand, but they have some molecular engine that they are centralized local Islamic council. So it depends on the uh, regional or the provinces that they have some committee to identify the halal system. So the industry that they are focused just only for localized food service or domestic agriculture. And also the bottleneck of Myanmar, it reflects on socio-political tension. I think everyone all aware of it. Instability and inability to achieve international certification recognition. Last of the member of non-Muslim state, Laos, the nascent frontier and entire informal halal economic reliance that relies on the neighboring ASEAN import. The demographic of Laos is niche, very small number. I think it's not more than 100,000 of Muslim population is quite less. That's why they are just only to cooperate the neighboring country to certify the halal standard. They're still focusing on niche tourism. Some of the Muslim tourism also visit Laos in some places like in the capital city, and also the expect service. So Laos is struggling on formal state recognition certification framework, prevent industrial scaling. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, if we analyze all the 7 countries in non-Muslim state of ASEAN, I analyze that this mutuality matrix can be divided into 3 clusters. Okay. The cluster 1 that you can see on the top right that I call advanced hub. Why we call advanced hub? Because Thailand and Singapore already approached the scientific and also halal industry in the country with this so-called non-Muslim state. And the second one, emerging exporter. We can see Vietnam and the Philippines is quite potential to be developing if they understand the value of the halal industry in the global market that is going to be reached up to 10 trillion USD in 2030. And of course, we have to encourage like a country of Cambodia, Myanmar, and Laos that they are still working on the domestic market. So the governance comprehensions, this refer to the main challenges is just not production capacities. This real challenges is governance architecture. Some countries have centralized halal authorities like Thailand and Singapore, and of course it's going to be like a Philippines, but some countries still fragmented in the private system. So this creates major difference in efficiency, trust, and international competitiveness. Before I'm going to end of my presentation, I would like to mention some of the friction into 3 pillars. The first one is the fragmented governance. We have seen, I think, that the Muslim majority model, it seems to be understanding each other because we have the, of course, the same background, religious background. Everyone concerned about the clean food, the regulation of the halal system and then motivating the SME or even the industrial halal products to export. But if you look to the right hand side, non-Muslim states still much confused whom we have to dealing with. Some go to the state trade agency, some go to private certificate body, some go to foreign certified, and some also go to Islamic NGO. They are confused. So that's why this fragmented is depend on the governance. The second one is supply chain. As the non-Muslim state, we have to understand that on the item that we are using mostly for the mixed market, we are not separate between what is the halal product and what is non-halal product, which is like, mixing market. If you come to Thailand, if you just observe just only at the 7-Eleven, you will be surprised that some burger is having a halal logo, but some burger is purely mentioned about pork and something that they are placed together, put in the convenience store. So that's why we are having a kind of using of the mixed market dilemma. So in non-Muslim state, halal product occur in this particular system. We still facing with the processing facility, logistic transport. We still discussing much and much about how to develop the halal logistic, because talking in the non-Muslim state is going to be, a big cost, because we need to have a big volume as well. Then this would be preventing cost contamination, demand, expensive, dedicated infrastructure drastically increase capital expenditure and locking out the SME. And the last one, friction 3, on the harmonization bottleneck. I think this also make a lot of complex among the industry and halal industry, that differing religions interpretation and unaligned nation framework transform halal standard into non-tariff trade barrier. Businesses are currently forced to acquire multiple district certifications simply to move identical products across ASEAN border. See that if we want to send just only one product, how many standards we need to get approved from Singapore, from Malaysia, from Indonesia, even from Thailand. So we need to discuss about the strategic solution, which I'm so-called the concept of Halal ASEAN. What is the Halal ASEAN that I'm finding in my study? I would like to propose at least 3 strategic solutions. First, mutual recognition agreement. I think that the student or maybe professor thinking how it's possible. If we look to the national interest, someone gained, someone lost, right? But if we look to what is the meaning of halal itself, halal for what? For whom? For cleaning, for purifying. So if we know the action concept, why not we bring on the Muslim leader among the ASEAN country? Just sit down and I think have a mutual recognition agreement that make halal products freely move from one to the other. Because everywhere now under the strap of external factor, war in the Middle East, and something that it is already pressure us to be united. And also this would be another dimension that we have to think, mutual recognition agreement. Number two, digital transferability system that to ensure transparency from raw material to the final customer. This should be from the first step to the final step, that this should be the system to check that whether this also go through the concept of halal or not. And the lastly, to convince our SME capacity building, because SME are the backbone of ASEAN economics. So together, this strategy can create what I call Halal ASEAN. Ladies and gentlemen, may I conclude my study? I think that I already spent a lot of time here. I would like to conclude that Halal opportunity is real. ASEAN already has market. ASEAN already has the production capacity. The missing element is just only governance integration. So if ASEAN can build institutional trust and regulatory harmonization, this region can become one of the world leading halal economy center. Before I finish, I would like to leave with one of final thought. In the future, we might see halal will not be simply define what people consume. Halal will define how nations build trust, and those who understand trust will shape the future of global trade. Thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me to this forum. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for your presentation, Dr. Bandit Aroman from Creek University, Thailand. His presentation examined the challenges and opportunities surrounding health certification and standard across non-Muslim majority ASEAN states, framing them as both strategic, economic, and governance imperative. The macro opportunity is enormous. The global halal economy is projected to reach $10 trillion by 2030, expanding far beyond traditional food sector into pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, Islamic finance, logistic, and Muslim-friendly tourism or halal tourism. ASEAN, with its 680 million people, sit as a unique interaction where massive Muslim consumer base directly interact with highly capable non-Muslim agricultural economies. And the recommended blueprint based on Dr. Bandit Araman presentation for Halal ASEAN rests on three pillars. The first is mutual recognition agreement, standardized traceability logistic, and small medium enterprise capability building. The core conclusion from Dr. Bandit is clear. The barrier is not agricultural capability, but governance fragmentation. Regional harmonization will transform ASEAN into the premium global hub of the halal economy. Okay, uh, the next opportunity we will give to the audience to ask the question, maybe for Dr. Bandit. Any question? Everyone.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Yes, my name is I'm from Myanmar. I'm also like I know about Dr. Bendit as well. Also, I'm from the Kirk University. I want to know about like okay, like for the mutual recognitions, like as you know, like mostly Myanmar, we're having like lots of like issue regarding with like madhab. So how can it be alongside with the mutual recognitions for like, cause like you know like mostly like Myanmar is with like South Asia like China like Pakistan, India, and Afghanistan. Most of them is like a Hanafi mazhab. So most of the other countries are like multi like Hanafi, Shafi'i, Maliki, and then so how can we do for the mutual recognition and mutual having that one for like how can it be that one for that? You got what I mean, right, sir, Dr. Bandit? Sure.
Okay, thank you very much for Mr. Khan. Maybe Dr. Bandit can able to answer directly.
I think that regarding the different school of thought, we might be another challenging. But if we look to the moderate Islam, I think we should approach to the moderate Islam in order to move our society together. If we depending for me, I'm not really can I'm not from religious purpose. Other professor can be help me to make some additional. For the moderate Islam, I think that we should understand that in order to move the economic perspective, if we already just only focusing on what we call that so traditional Islamic, especially living in the non-Muslim state, it's quite difficult to move on. So we be just only the domestic economic input or process, and it look difficult to export because everyone are concerned about themselves. Number two is that in order to make integrations, we have to look at what are the different contexts of from each other. So of course, Thailand, I think that you already visit study here in Thailand. So you look that we are following the Shafi'i school, mostly Shafi'i school. And then we still, make some of the kind of moderate Islam in the country, promoting moderate Islam as well. This might be an opportunity, to come out from what we are struck. As I mentioned in the beginning concerning about the halal industry, halal is not just only for the religious or food anymore. Halal means things about uh, Muslim friendly tourism. Halal means thing about fashion, with its very traditional Islamic maybe not agree with. But if we not understand this particular concept, so it's quite difficult to move on. I think this, from my perspective, is that we have to approach the moderate Islam in order to make a mutual understanding, especially for the economic perspective.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, the next question from Ms. Nurfani from Faculty of Islamic Economic and Business. The question from the chat. Okay. I would like to ask Dr. Bandit Aroman the following question. How does the Halal ASEAN Blueprint contribute to ASEAN's competitiveness in the global halal market?
I think regarding to the Halal ASEAN Blueprint, it's still not yet become functioning. It seems to be that separately we are doing from one to the others. Like Indonesia, you have your own standard. Malaysia, they have their own standard. Thailand, we have their own standard. As I mentioned, that the difficulty to separation between the different international lives, that how we can build into the nation trust from one to the other. Because if we look ASEAN as the region that we work together, we promote ASEAN of we are what we call that the ASEAN unity. But when we are functioning, we do it separate, right? We do it separate. What are the benefit of Indonesia if you are working with Thailand Halal certified body like cycle? This means that a lot of trade, value of trade is changing, feasibility. Look at how, Thailand could be a hub of Indonesia that can be certified halal and be maybe sent to the our neighboring country that where the Muslim also live, like from South Asia, where is the largest Muslim population living there, and also Muslim in China, Muslim in even in the Middle East, if the conflict is going to be settled. So that's why exchanging of mutual standard or the ASEAN Halal should come up with the what you call that governance mutual understanding, because we're doing it differently. Otherwise, we cannot be achieved in the halal system. We have to do by our own, and also we have to do our own market. We don't believe that every resource that we are good enough. Perhaps the raw material may be good in Indonesia. Raw material will be need to find from Cambodia even, or maybe we have to find from Myanmar even. But of course, we have the barrier of the halal standard. Otherwise, this would be a difficulty. Yes.
Okay. Any question or the next question?
I think the question coming like
Okay.
not the
Mr.
question, right?
Fatriza
It's
Imani,
just to
present.
confirm. Right?
Okay.
Mr.
Yes,
Hendry.
yes.
Mr. Reza, please welcome.
Okay. Thank you for your attention. Let me introduce myself, sir. My name is M. Fatriza Imani. You can call me Reza. I'm a master student in Islamic economy from UIN Gustur Pekalongan. My question to Mr. Bandit Aroman: how is the halal certification process in Thailand? What is the government role in addressing existing halal certification challenges? And have Islamic economy studies contribute to expanding the position of Islamic economies there? Thank you.
Okay. If I'm represent about the halal certification in Thailand, I think that we are doing very, very well. Why I say very well? Because we have many international body. It's not just only the domestic body. It become like a universal body. Like if you search from the SICOT one or Central Islamic Council of Thailand, even the Korean halal logo, they also associated with the halal SICOT, that they want to coordinate with the Halal body in Thailand. Number two is that we have some of the governance here that the Thai society, we are, let's say that we are very multicultural society from the beginning. So even then, Muslim in Thailand is the part of the society. Understanding from one to the other step, uh, building the requirement of the standard. When Thailand become like a tourist destination, uh, the decision maker or the government thinking that why we are not approached to the Muslim who have uh, willing to visit Thailand, especially for the medical treatment. We have seen the Middle East people coming here for the medical treatment. So gradually from that, we need to have the halal healthcare as well, and also the pharmaceutical as well, and also the services. Now, apart from that, we have the halal industry in Thailand that most of the owner, frankly to say, that they are non-Muslim people. Once they are non-Muslim people, of course, they have to certify body. In Thailand, we have 77 district, including Bangkok, of course. And we have provincial certified body, as we call as the provincial Islamic committee that have to be certified the halal system in each and every factories. For that, we are gradually growing, and that factory are already focusing on ASEAN markets, and even then, they are focusing now in the Middle East market. Look as a whole of the what I mentioned, that we are so, for me, we are so lucky that we are not in shortage of food security. We still plenty of agricultural products. We still have lot of things to choice, to choose what we are going to eat, of course. But to making the standardized for export purpose, especially for the huge uh, market of the Muslim population, nearly 2 million Muslim population around the world, especially they are living nearby our regions. So we have to concern much, about the standard. Otherwise, we will see our environment like, halal by birth. You understand halal by birth? The Muslim cook by themselves and selling, the food or open the restaurant by itself. Surprisingly, halal by birth is much growing in Thailand, where they once they open the restaurant or even the halal coffee shop or something, that they are more attractive, that they are not just only focusing on the Muslim customer, but other people who believe in the different religions, such as the Buddhist people, who already also favor to visit the halal restaurant as well. So this is the benefit, that we have not lost, and then this is the gaining. The society understand the value of halal now.
Yeah, thank you very much for your explanation. Next question. Before we go to next question, okay, Mbak Dewi, okay, Mbak Dewi Insyarah, the time for you.
Okay. Good morning, Professor. First of all, thank you for insightful presentation and for sharing such a comprehensive perspective on the future of the halal economic in ASEAN. It is truly a honor for us to have you here today. I would like to ask some question. This is the common question. Uh, in the context of ASEAN economic integration, how do you see the possibility of harmonizing regional halal standards without diminishing the authority of national halal, like such as Jakim, Muiz, and etc. Thank you. That's all my question.
Let me frankly to say that a part of my study, I'm still struggling to find the possibility of the halal ASEAN. I think that the implementation today, everyone concerned about their own certification. Number one. Number two is that they are still concerned about the nation interest. So what is the scenario? The scenario of the halal certification, or you asking about ASEAN integration of the halal system, that would be and need to be, a country like Muslim majority country. Why not thinking about Indonesia is one of our big brother of Muslim leader? Or why not thinking about Malaysia is one of the standardized, and also looking for this country to be understanding. But when we interview or talking about the halal expert, they mention that they may be not agree with the halal integration. Why? Because the national interest. For example, if I have a product and I want to send export to Indonesia, if you accept my halal standard, it means that you are going to buy my product, right? And then I can reach a huge market of nearly 300 million Muslim population. Who will get the benefit? I will get the benefit, right? Of course, if we talk about these visions that we are getting lost. Oh no, Indonesia is seem to be getting lost. But I'm not looking for individually. I'm talking about the umbrella of ASEAN. If we have a gateway of Halal ASEAN, okay, if we are unity among the Halal integration, we have one integration of the Halal ASEAN that all the leader have to sit down and have strongly coordinating with the Halal certification, and also check from raw material from one step to the last step before reaching the customer, and lastly motivating our SME as I mentioned, that is the backbone of the ASEAN. This is three pillar that I mentioned. This would work in the future, but the only one point that we have to facing is that how we convince that ASEAN should be united as a gateway of Halal. Suppose if rich country like Middle East want to buy some resources from our regions, so there should be a single certification. Even they want to buy from Indonesia, where there's plenty of agricultural products, not just only agricultural product. You may be also thinking about medicine, or sorry, the pharmaceutical, or even fashion that you are very popular there, right? Or even other lifestyle, talking about lifestyle, fashions, and even the tourism, Muslim friendly tourism, healthcare, and medical treatment. Everything that we should be a single window. Otherwise, they have to thinking, oh, okay, we have to select who is the best services, who have the halal standard, what are the requirements. Because halal is simply like, just only for the Muslim purpose, right? For the Muslim purpose. But in implementation, why the same purpose divide into many shadow? So this window make complicating with non-Muslim people. So why we have to go this affiliation? Why we have to approach this institution? Why we have to go this and that for making a lot of cost that we have to expend with? So that's why it's not work. No SME interest, right? So if in case that we are motivating this integration, perhaps you may be getting some of the halal resources from Laos, from Myanmar, or even from other neighboring countries. Yes.
Thank you. It's clear, Doctor.
Okay, the next question. Any participants are requested to fill in the attendance list via the following link in room chat.
Maybe some of our lecturer and maybe some of our students can share some of their thought in the halal industry in Indonesia as well, because it's only me, I cannot understand whole of the things of halal. I think that for me, I assume that Indonesia might be the one of the a model, role model. Is there any difficulty or the challenges? Maybe I think that our dean is with us, or our vice dean Ismanto is with us. So maybe you can share some of the challenges in Indonesia regarding to the Haran industry. Thank you.
Mr. Dr. Kuat Ismanto, maybe you can explain about the development of halal industry in Indonesia, any difficulties and challenges and other. You can share to Mr. Bandit Haroman.
Okay. Uh, we some experience in Indonesia, Mr. Bandit. We know that in Indonesia, halal certification has developed rapidly,
Yes.
especially after the enactment of law number number 30 2040 on halal product assurance. In Indonesia, halal certification organized by the BPJPH might be different from Thailand and Malaysia. We know that the certification in Indonesia before is organized by MUI, but now in uh, by government. This issue since halal fatwa and halal certification has been implemented in PASIS as a mandatory requirement, particularly for food and beverage product. And now Indonesia strengthened its halal ecosystem by involving halal inspection bodies. And Mr. Henry is the director of LBH, improving regulatory framework and digitalizing certification services. As the country with the largest Muslim population, Indonesia uh, aims to become a global halal hub by enhancing standardization, increasing the number of certified products, and expanding into sectors such as pharmacy, cosmetic, and halal tourism. And my studies about the halal tourism, Mr. Bandit. And we know in ASEAN, especially standard certification is different. Every every country has different standard, and I think it will be effect on our development halal certification, especially in ASEAN. So I have some question for Mr. Bandit. Uh, if we have different halal standard and regulation among non-Muslim countries, I think it will be effect on harmonization and halal trade. So, what are the main challenges in maintaining halal supply chain, especially in contamination risks and traceability? We know that our product from Indonesia has the big barrier to export in another country, especially in Singapore. We know that Indonesia has everything, all product we have, but our product has no standard. So the uh, international standard, especially in ASEAN, is important, but it is big project. Maybe from academician can support this agenda. Maybe Thailand and Indonesia ini is the first project, and we can make collaboration to discuss this problem. I think uh, the little contribution is not be confused when we do uh, what we call the research together, maybe from Big University and Abdurrahman Wahid University. But the big problem in our country is uh, regarding the contamination and traceability. So, what do you think about this, Mr. Bandit? Thank you, Mr. Henry.
Thank you, Professor Itlamanto. Actually, I think if uh, we would be see the separation of the standard, especially for among the non-Muslim state. Number one is that we might see the confusions of SME, small medium enterprise, of course. If you look to the owner of the SME itself, they are not all Muslim. They are owner of the products, right? They
The
are the
owner is
owner.
not Muslim.
Yes, the owner. No, I'm talking about non-Muslim state. So SME, mostly the owner are not Muslim. So in case that we have so complicated certification, Indonesia need one, Malaysia need one, other country needs one standard. So it will be a lot of confused, and cost of the certifying is going to be complicated. So we have seen some of the, I think that SICOT already promote in Thailand, that in case you want to export your products to Indonesia, at least you have one at supervisor who understand the what we call BPJPH, right? To understand the standard, they have to know the Indonesian standard in one factories. So it means that in order to collaborate in the beginning, that we have to have a short course certification of the Halal standard Indonesia in order to gain more employee in the factory. Because the owner itself cannot be understand, we have to recruit more Muslim people who can be advised to the company that you have to at least meet to the standard from Indonesia or even Malaysia, which have only accepting this particular model. Number two, as you mentioned, that how we can integrate, we have to think about the regulation of both. Mean that or if you want to be, starting the model, I do believe that Indonesia is a superpower in the region, not just only talking about the population. I think that Indonesia is just only one country that is the member of G20. Am I right? You are the superpower of economy. It seems to be that Indonesia can be a big border, a big guidance to some of the non-Muslim states who are struggling, like we are supervising, just only supervising to the Korean Halal standard. See, now Korean Halal standard already, go such very fast in terms of food, tourism, and even lifestyle. You can see that there are lot of layer of the halal system in Korea. So that's why we have to see the regulation and then try to adjust the governance complication between Indonesia and even Thailand or other non-Muslim states, put a model to be implemented. If this is work, so we have to see the second chart that we can analyze what are the national benefits from Indonesia and what are the benefits for Thailand as well, to convince our decision maker, like, from the Ministry of Commerce, from our government, at least to work on, let our decision maker see the trend of the halal global market. And also the good point, as I mentioned here, at least we can see that we have already product in our regions. Halal industry already here in our region, but the only one that we are struggling, that we are having a different governance in terms of build up the many halal certification body. That's why we have to think about how we can, integration. What are the criteria? If they are similar, so you can remove it. No need to be again and again certified. It make a little bit, reducing of confusion among the people who are non-Islamic believer. We not just only think about Muslim, we should think about overall. That would be possible for moving our economy fast. If we look just only 2 million, 2 billion Muslim population market, we get lost. But if we look halal industry, that halal industry is for all. That is mean we are covering nearly 6 to 7 billion population because all the resources, mostly agricultural resources, we have too much in our region. That's why.
Thank you,
Okay,
Mr. Bandit.
thank you very much, Mr. Bandit. Maybe for the last question in this international guest lecture, Mr. Bu Karima Tamara, maybe. Okay, all participants, any question? If there is no question, so I will leave for the conclusion of this agenda. 7 non-Muslim ASEAN states are profiled to a strategic diagnostic framework. Thailand as the scientific exporter, Singapore as the structure hub, and Philippines as the agricultural bridge, Vietnam as the secular exporter, Cambodia as the emerging processor, Myanmar as the decentralized market, and Laos as the nation frontier. Each nation varies dramatically in institutional maturity, regulatory structure, and export readiness. Three system friction impede growth across this market. First, fragmented governance. Second, supply chains fail newabilities, and third, harmonization bottleneck. Okay, maybe enough here our
Mr.
agenda.
Hendry,
Okay.
I have some experience to explain this guest lecture. Maybe
Okay.
it is the conclusion. Mr. Bandit, thank you. So we know that Indonesia and Thailand, we have big project, and I can give you some summarize that Indonesian halal product faces the several challenges. I think the first is limited awareness among SMEs, and Mr. Bandit calling with the confused mess. It is just wonderful, uh, but it need the solution from the academician. Limited awareness in Indonesia is big problem because some halal certification and requirement is it is not super it. And the second, certification cost and procedure can still be burdensome. So the cost of the certification in Indonesia is maybe we call big public problem. Despite government support the program, but it is for the mandatory. So the third problem is the capacity of halal inspection bodies. Some auditor in our country need improvement. And the fourth problem is maintaining halal integrity across the supply chain remain difficult. And Indonesia, and we know the some truck, some bus, we using the logo halal. And it is not everybody in Indonesia knows that the transportation has the halal logo. And the five differences in international halal standard, creating the barrier for global market. Uh, and now we has discussed that the global standard, especially in ASEAN, is good project. I think the supporting from Mr. Bandit, it is good uh, good idiom we call ASEAN Halal. And lastly, regulatory enforcement and compliance still need strengthening. And it is the problem from Indonesia when the UMKM or SMEs get the certification, it is not be continued. And the last, in conclusion, we sincerely express our gratitude for Mr. Bandit Aroman for his insightful and valuable contribution to this international guest lecture. I think your expertise has greatly enriched our academic discourse and inspiring further engagement in halal industry research and development. For us, it is big challenges and big opportunities to us, Greek University and our university, Yai Haji Abdurrahman University, can create the collaboration in research, in guest lecture, and maybe someday some of our lecture can presenting the material from Indonesia to uh, Thailand. And I hope Mr. Bandit can share the student from Greek University to be audience and via the presenter. Or maybe we can make the conference, Greek University and uh, FIP.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Bandit. Maybe
Yeah.
you have some suggestion.
Yes, thank you, Professor Ismanto. Actually, you are also very much encouraged, not just only me, you encourage your lecturer fellows, academic fellow, and also your student. I think that being a part of the academic for for this, I think this is of good opportunity to at least understand from one to the other. Of course, being a Muslim, we are living in the different contexts. We learning from one to the other. We have different difficulties, but in each difficulty, as the academic, we have to show the people who are aware of the solution. I think that we have to also engage our youth generation, our especially our students. This is a long-term investment that I think that we have been already received from our vice the academic dean that already mentioned. This information, I think it's just only halal for halal industry. Of course, I hope that I have a lot of engagement with the Indonesian university, but I don't know why that I'm very much sorry, I'm very much very close relation with Abdurrahman Wahid State University of Pegalongan because of our connection, our friendship, and our mutual understanding. That is the kind of people to people understanding. This is already 50% achieved. 50% achieved. Rest of the other 50% that is just only implement. And you shown to Kirk University, especially myself or my eye, that you are already implemented our cooperation. Many of the university from Indonesia, let's say finally they are coming just only for MOU. Okay, but I don't see that Duraman Wahid University is just only come for MOU. They are also coming to participate the conference, sharing their thought, and also today we have another event for international lecture that I can also sharing my thought and also learning from our lecturer, our scholar fellow, and also our student. So of course, I think that we have a different difficulty, but in the future, I think that we have to keep connection from one generation to the other generation, how to make our strong understanding. Look me not just only the academic colleague, look me as your brother. That whenever you feel free to come to Thailand, you can contact me. Any one of you, I can if I, have my time that I will be fully, uh, with you all of the things that you need to let me help. I think you also send the volunteer student to our university for long, and I think they still have a good feedback. And we hope that one day we should visit our colleague,
Okay.
university in the
Hmm.
future. I think not so far, very soon. I already contact to Dr. Hardini that I think I must be going because we have seen a long partnership for long. Hopefully that this would be fruitful. Is there any mistake? I'm very sorry for my answer and my presentation. Thank you. Jazakumullah khairan.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Mr. Bandit. Please, Mr. Hendrik, to
Okay.
conclude this program.
I have to promote this international language. Yes, of course.
We will send English and Indonesian, Mr.
Yes, okay.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. Jazakumullah ahsanal jaza. So maybe the last conclusion from Mr. Dr. Kuat Ismanto.
Enough.
Okay, let's close our agenda today with Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Thank you very much, Dr. Bandit. Thank you very much, Dr. Kuat Ismanto, and all participants and our dean, Associate Professor Dr. Haji Aim Hafid Maksum MAG. Thank you very much, all participants and all students in this Zoom meeting. Okay.
Can I have one snapshot before leaving all
Okay.
together?
Please.
Please.
Yes. So you can send me later on, everyone. If you can open the camera, or we can have the snapshot together. Yes. I
Yes,
think
open
from your side.
open the camera and maybe
Yeah,
public
at least.
meter.
Apa kamera?
Yes, or at least I can recognize some
Okay,
of you.
yes.
Okay, someone from your administration is taking a snapshot, right?
Yes.
From
Mr.
Febim.
Khan from Vietnam.
I'm from Myanmar.
Oh,
Oh, from
Myanmar.
Myanmar.
Yes, and
So
I'm also studying
any
PhD
other
in business
country?
management.
Wow. From Myanmar, from Vietnam, from Indonesia, from Thailand, and other country?
Mr. Go is from India.
Yeah. So I think that we have another student, from different country as well. So maybe thinking about I think youth connection between different countries inshallah in the future.
Inshallah.
Okay, already take
Okay,
a
okay.
snapshot. I think that the
Okay.
organizer will send me later on. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Nice to meet you again.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh.